Hey, how do you feel about guys breaking their legs to get taller?
I think, and I'm really glad you brought this up.
Oh, you've been thinking about this?
Yeah, I think it's one of the lamest things a person can do.
I saw. Well, actually, I can't give it away. Never mind. I saw a movie recently where a guy did that.
But
It
it's
was-
like a spoiler.
It was like it actually is a spoiler, so I should say I can't tell you what movie it is, but that was like his
the
deep dark.
twist.
That
is
was
that he...
that's one of the twists.
Wait, I feel like I saw something where that was the twist.
Well,
But it
I
might
can't-
have been an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
It's probably in a couple things, but it got me thinking. Like I've heard of this as like a
Yeah.
procedure, but I've never like thought about it for more than 8 seconds because I'm a very tall 5'11".
Yeah,
and
everyone says that.
Thank you so much. You should see me in a heel.
Yeah.
Upwards of 6'1".
I have.
And
If any of your friends have seen you in a heel, it's me.
but I never thought about it, and I was like, man, yeah, that's like a it's interesting. Like if a woman gets like fake boobs, I think a lot of times she's like, check out my new fake boobs. But a guy needs to take the heightening thing to his grave.
Well, also because it's such an insane procedure.
Yeah.
When you get fake boobs, you don't have to like break your boob bones in half.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. So you think
And
the
like
intensity?
most American doctors don't do it because it's so dangerous.
Okay.
So like I think it's the intensity.
You know more about this than I do. I didn't
From
know
the episode of
American-
Grey's Anatomy, and there's this scene. So like it's like this guy does the leg lengthening surgery, and it gets like crazy fucked up infected, and so he has to go to this like orthopedic surgeon to get it like fixed. And his brother is with him in the hospital, and his brother is like 6'1",
Okay.
and his brother's like, God damn, your whole life you've been short. It's all I've had to hear about. I couldn't play basketball because you were short. Every time I go on a date, I can't tell you about it because you're short and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you risked your fucking life for, well, they don't say fuck on Grey's Anatomy, but I'm playing it up. He's like, you risked your fucking life for 2 inches. 2 inches you risked your life for. I almost lost my brother over 2 inches. What's the difference between 5'3" and 5'5"? And then the short guy looks at his brother and he goes, 5'5" you can say out loud.
Yo.
Crazy.
Honestly, great.
And kind
Good
of,
for him.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also don't die. Like,
no,
don't,
of course.
You know?
Of course. But
One thing I love
yeah.
is hair transplant surgery.
Okay.
I love that men are embracing cosmetic surgery in that way.
I was gonna segue to this exact same thing.
I think that's dope.
that hair. Yeah. Yes. I was gonna say the same thing. That hair plugs are talked about.
Yeah. and
Not the heightening.
I think it's sick. I think
Yeah.
I have a few friends who have done it and are open about it.
Yeah.
And they look great. And I think it's awesome. And I think anyone who can afford to and wants to should look into it. But the heightening thing, just like there's so many men that like can't walk because they tried to do it.
Really?
It's
I
like
didn't know-
really horrible for you.
I didn't know it had that kind of. I mean, I've done
It's
zero
like,
research. I literally.
There's like a level of BBL you can get that's like the deadliest plastic surgery. I feel the same way about.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's like lame and like self-harm adjacent.
Wait, BBLs in general, or
No, there's like a certain extremeness of
Okay.
BBL that can make it like deadly.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
What makes it so deadly?
I don't know. I know a lot of doctor stuff, but I don't know that.
I actually
one.
know a lot of doctor stuff.
I do know, and everybody knows that about me. I do know a lot of doctor stuff. Dude, my fucking mom had brain surgery a few weeks ago, and I was in that hospital like a goddamn registered nurse.
Yeah.
I was throwing things, like all the nurses and doctors were like, that's actually a really great question. And I was like, yeah, I know it is.
But it's all Grey's Anatomy.
No,
fueled.
well, also I was like in a hospital for a year when I was a kid.
Can I tell you something? Speaking of the hair thing.
And my bestie is in medical school.
Is
Shout out
what?
Yas-
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is in medical school. Shout out Yasmina, doctor of the pod. She's listening.
Doctor of the pod. Let me know how you feel about leg lengthening.
Yeah, will you
Okay?
tell us?
Tell us what's up with that, and what's up with
Yasmina.
these? What's up with these thick ass BBLs?
And what's the
that
thing
are
with the BBLs? And also,
deadly
wait.
BBLs.
Also, I
Yeah.
saw a TikTok where this girl was talking about BBL smell, and apparently, if you get like a botched or maybe not even botched, but I think botched BBL, there's a thing where like when you sit down, it releases like a decaying flesh odor. And this girl was like, I had to get my BBL reversed because the smell was like clearing the room.
This is seriously okay.
So that's cool. Welcome to the show.
You like smell your insides.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hated that, Lizzy.
I know, it's awful. I went down such a wormhole when I saw that TikTok. I was in there for 2 hours.
I was trying to veer us back to the hair
being
plugs.
like, what does it smell like?
You know what it smells like.
But nobody will just tell you. They gotta use like flowery language.
Have you ever smelled like living in New York?
Yeah, you've smelled dead. You smelled dead animal.
You smell a dead rat in the wall.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
Not now, but in a past, much cheaper apartment I did.
Yeah, or
And
in a past comedy club I used to perform at every night.
But isn't it so weird that like having never stuck your nose up close to a dead rotting thing, your brain immediately knows that's death. That's the smell of death. You know?
Yeah, totally.
That's kind of fucking metal.
That's like evolution stuff.
Yeah, that's
Don't
like
go
evolution
near that.
stuff.
Don't go near that. That's death.
And you only know doctor stuff.
And
Not
I only know
evolution
doctor stuff. I don't actually don't believe in evolution.
I
think that we were all created in God's image 2,000 years ago.
I saw.
Can you imagine thinking that?
I want to go to that.
So many people think that.
I want to go to that creationist museum so bad.
We should go.
Of course, we have so many field trips we've never
followed
through on. But
you know
yes.
what? I got an ad for the other day. Do you remember when we were talking about going to that? There's an amusement
Theme park
in New Jersey.
I got the same ad.
Bitch!
Let's go.
Bitch, we gotta go.
Okay, there's a theme park in New Jersey. Okay, I'm not even gonna talk about the hair plugs. Forget it. I took off my hat and I had the longest, most beautiful hair.
Forget it.
What? Figure it out.
You have my hair. You have bangs.
Okay, so what's the name of the theme park? Do you remember?
No, but Google New Jersey Construction Theme Park and it'll absolutely come right the fuck up. It's in West Berlin, New Jersey, near Philly.
Diggerland, USA.
Hating the name, if I'm being honest. Absolutely rename it. Rename it expeditiously.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Anyway,
can we get one of those like screens that it's
like
technical
at the drive-in?
No technical difficulties.
But remember at the drive-in where they'd be like a dancing hot dog, they'd be like, get a snack.
That's good too. Yeah, some sort of.
Yeah, but this does look fun. You can like do a excavator. You can try your hand at an excavator.
So they've got all these.
You can be excavated.
But look, they've got all.
Diggerland is crazy.
They've got all these rides that are just.
Work.
I was gonna say cranes, but they're not. They're the arms.
Excavator.
The excavator. Yeah, and so, what if we made an excavator one of these guys?
What if we made an excavator
this fucking thing? Huh? Don't you want to excavate
You
like
literally,
this?
you literally can just dig a hole with an excavator, like you're at work.
Yeah,
It's-
dude. We gotta wait. We gotta find a video.
I would kind of be offended if I was like a guy who did this for a living.
Look at this. This person went. We're not gonna. Oh, where there's music.
To all the dry rides.
Okay.
This is the ad I got.
Okay. So it's just stuff that spins. It's just.
A real excavator.
See?
Digging dreams. When it comes to
Live out your digging dreams.
Dumper trucks
Hello.
instead of bumper cars, I guess.
interactive games.
Oh, and you know, wait, will you pause it?
Hey, can
or
I
mute
say
it?
this doesn't look fun at all?
No, it doesn't. You know those things that people like when I worked on farms, we had them. They were called like Kubotas or like whatever. They're like the little like 4-wheeler things that are kind of like a golf cart and an ATV hybrid.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. Go
Okay.
on.
Well, they have those and you can race them.
Golf cart, ATV. Oh, wait, so where is this again? Durham?
Look up
Durham, North. Where is it?
West Berlin,
West.
New Jersey.
Or obviously, I know the name. I'm just. Do you know how far that is?
It's near Philly. So like
Okay,
4
so a couple
hours.
hours. So if we booked something in Philly,
Bitch.
then we have a reason to.
Or God
to go.
forbid Atlantic City. Just kidding. I don't want to go back there.
Dude, this is sick. Should we just do the whole pod on this?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, no, can't do all that. All right.
Whatever.
Last words on Diggerland before we move on.
If you're near West Berlin, New Jersey, and you've been to Diggerland, will you email us and tell us if we should go?
Actually, two things. One, we'll come hang out with you.
Will we?
If you're cool.
Yeah.
If you pass a vibe check.
You are gonna have to pass a vibe check. I'm sorry, but it's the internet.
Okay, and
I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong. You were just immediately assuming the worst.
Yeah,
and
I'm a
you're the
woman.
person who I think on our second episode was going to fly to Florida to hang out with a stranger.
Yeah, but I met him.
Okay, sure.
And he was going to pay.
You also mentioned email us. I think we have a little bit of news. Or a little bit of
Wow.
news. A little bit of...
Well, remember when I almost
little
flew
bit
to
of-
Florida to hang out with a stranger and then he told me he had a gun? That was awesome. I should do stuff like that again.
I miss drunk Lizzy.
I was sober.
Yeah, but you still had wet brain.
Yeah. I think I was sober.
You were, but you weren't happy about it yet.
He was a tattoo artist.
All right, we got 2 pieces of mail since our last episode.
Wait, but we have stuff to talk about, so should we maybe do this on the next episode?
Yeah, if you want. But I think
Because we have catching up to do, and we're gonna have to do more time on the next one too. And I meant to say this before we started recording.
I'm sorry.
But I forgot.
Wait, I'm sorry. We have one piece of mail, and it's from Terry in regards to the last.
and I read
thing.
it.
Oh, is it juicy?
There's like, it's like we asked him a question point blank, and he answered it.
Yeah, we got to get that on
Okay, fine.
because the next one, right?
Yeah, you're right.
What are you so worried about?
Well, maybe if it wasn't the next one, people would be like, I gotta listen again to see what Terry said.
You tell me.
I don't care.
All right. You seem very adamant about.
I just want to talk about Warped Tour. I want to talk about a near-death experience I had.
Yeah.
There's just like a lot I want to say.
Okay.
But we could do it all.
Why don't you hold that till the next episode?
Because I can't.
All right, fine. Go ahead.
I don't know how.
Go ahead. Ask away.
Okay, so, well, do you want me to do mine or ask about yours?
Jesus, Lizzy, you can't grab the wheel and then go, where do I go?
Okay,
Pick a
I don't know.
lane.
I don't want to throw to you and be like, how was Warped Tour? And you're like, good.
Yeah, okay.
Do you
try
have
me.
stuff to say?
Try me.
How was Warped Tour?
Pretty good.
I hate you. Let's end it.
Okay, so it was me and some other comics. We're all on I don't have a release on this label yet,
Yeah.
but I have like my next
You're a
thing
friend of
will
the
be on
label.
the label. I'm a friend of the label. And all these people on Burn This Records, shout out Burn
Shout
This
out-
Records,
shout out Brandy
Posey for putting it all together. We all got to do Warped Tour on the
jealous. I'm so jealous.
They had like an acoustic tent.
Yeah.
So they had people coming. Some of them were like roots kind of reggae people. Some of them were like acoustic.
Was it white reggae?
Oh yeah.
That is the one.
Not all of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of
But
it.
white reggae, I will say, is the one qualm I have with the ska community.
There
at
was
large.
one.
You guys are being so fast and loose with the white reggae, and you
Yeah.
just have to tighten up a little bit.
There was one particularly dreaded white woman.
Yeah.
singing her
Dreaded
songs.
in two ways.
Singing her songs about the moon or whatever. But then there was also like acoustic, like the Bowling for Soup guys came and did an acoustic set and stuff, stuff like that.
That's cool.
In between the acoustic acts, there were comedians.
Yeah.
all
Which
from
is
this
way
label.
better than between the regular acts.
Yeah, and it was great. It was cool. I went up first, which I was worried about my spot because I went up at like 12:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is going to suck. Nobody's going to. And I show up, and the tent is absolutely packed to the gills.
That's what happened to me on Fest last year.
Yeah, because none of the cool bands have
Yep.
started yet.
And then I got to see all the cool bands because I was all done.
Yeah, dude. And I'm going to be honest. I say this without bias. I think I had the best set of the day because I was set up
Slay.
in that way. Because immediately and there was an acoustic act and then the next comic. And boy, let me tell you, maybe like 5 sun-stroked people.
Yeah.
Pretty rough.
Yeah.
And then the person after that had a good, but it like went, but I'm happy. I probably shouldn't even be sharing. But look, it was fucking rad for me and I had a great time.
And you sent me a video of you watching the Wonder Years, who I just
Yes.
saw. And I think they're like currently, gimmick bands aside, my favorite live band to see.
Yeah, they're great. Oh yeah, so I was gonna say I sold a bunch of T-shirts.
Yeah.
Because, which is nice. You never know if people are gonna care or whatever. But I have this piece of merch that has Kermit and his dick and a
Which
dead
was
Mickey
drawn
Mouse.
by
Brandy Posey's boyfriend, Rick Wood. Shout
Rick
out.
Wood. Shout out. And comedian in his own right.
comedian
but
and
I love
musician.
doing that to a man instead of a woman.
But the amount of times people would come up and be like, oh, I'm just seeing what you guys got. What the hell? And I'd be
Yeah.
like, what size are you?
Yeah. I
It
love
was great. And it was also cool, you know, kind of like when we do fest, people like care about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I got off stage and like this guy was like, take a photo with me. And somebody like, you know, like I signed a couple things and it makes you
Yeah.
feel like a cool
And I really
rock
think there's
star
like
kind of thing.
a culture of like that kind of like all of those like hardcore punk offshoot kinds of music. Like there's a thing where people really want to be in with the community.
They really do.
They really want to like know the band that's like in their local band that's up and coming. They want to like be friends with them. They want to go to their shows. So I think when you do stand up on a thing like that, they also want to know you and like follow your shit.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
It's so nice. It's so great. And you mentioned, I sent you a video of me watching Wonder Years. I got to see anybody I wanted from backstage.
Yeah, artist pass.
Which is cool, but the sound
sucks.
The sound sucks, but it's cool to like if you've seen a band like a million times, like I've seen Wonder Years so many times, and it's cool to see how the crowd reacts.
Yeah,
and just
that's also
be
such
like,
a fun one. Like they play Came Out Swinging, and you get to watch the crowd is so cool.
Yeah, everybody's singing along.
Yeah.
And I so many times I'd been to like Warped Tour back when it was traveling when I was in high school, and I'd see people on the side of the stage, and I was like, they're not even
How do you
dancing.
get up there?
How do you get up there?
How do you get up there?
And they don't even like look like they're having a good time.
Yeah, because I can't hear anything.
So I made a point to be like, yes,
Jumping.
this rocks. I'm like you guys.
Yeah.
I'm actually a man of the people.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not their accountant or whatever. Less Than Jake who I love. All their songs are about leaving your hometown and wanting to like make something of yourself, you know?
Which is all of those bands, not just Less Than Jake.
No, Less Than Jake, literally all of them's like, I'm going to leave this town more than like a lot of bands are.
The Wonder Years, for example, will do a lot of I'm going to leave this town, but they'll also do, God, I love this town.
yeah. And a lot of other bands do like Heartbreak and stuff. I feel like Less Than Jake literally has one speed and it's can't wait to get out of this town.
Are they from Gainesville?
They are from Gainesville.
Well.
Yes, they are, and they're still there. So I don't fucking know. I don't get it. But I was there, and this guy, it was like me and Brandy, just like Bob, and this guy stepped up to my left, and I look over, and he's wearing like a leather jacket and like leather pants, and the cuntiest, bedazzled. Silver boots.
Yeah.
And he's like, his hair is perfect. I'm like, this guy's crazy hot, like the hottest guy, and he's got the same wristband as me. So I'm like, okay, he's in a band, and I go, man, they're great, right? And he's like, they're my favorite band in the world.
Less Than Jake?
Yeah. And I go, who are you with? And he goes, Boys Like Girls. Which is a huge band in that type of scene. The lead singer, I think he's the lead singer. I don't know. I didn't watch him, but I think it's like the lead singer of. It was like such like a weird. You forget.
Boys Like Girls is fuck. I know their big song, but I can't think of it.
I never got into it. It wasn't my thing. They
but
were more poppy.
You would know it if you hear it. It was on the radio.
But
it was on like mainstream.
They were playing like the big stage.
We'll make the great escape.
Yes.
Dun, 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 they say.
Yeah. And I thought that was so cool though, because you forget that, if you make a type of music doesn't mean you only like that type of music or even that you like that type of music at all. Let's be
right.
Like, and you forget that like these people listen to other things and stuff. And I just thought that was so cool.
That is fun. I love that he was wearing a cunty boot.
But for me, my most nostalgic thing was Motion City soundtrack.
Yeah, we saw them at the beach.
Yeah, we did, and they were great.
They were great.
Something about seeing them in this setting from backstage definitely felt like, I don't know. I was having a very nostalgic, like loving inner child kind of moment where I was like, man, this album is so important to me when I was in high school, and if high school me could see me now, he'd think I was a cool adult.
I'm gonna have that when we go to Riot Fest. There's so many bands like that for me, even though we're just buying tickets and going. We're not doing any. Like it's still like, wow, look at us. We're like grown-ups and we can afford to go.
I know.
Like I didn't have to beg my parents and they said no. I saw real quick the Wonder Years do because they did a regular set at Warped Tour.
They did.
But I saw them they're touring right now, their like Burst and Decay EPs, which are their like, not necessarily acoustic, but sort of reimagined versions of a lot of their big songs.
I would say it's like the MTV Unplugged
Yeah,
series.
they said on stage the phrasing they use is like this song, but in a softer light.
Yeah.
And on stage they use like
cellos.
lamps.
Nice.
Instead of like super bright, like normal lighting. And they play it with a 3-piece string ensemble. And I went to the show thinking, I just bought tickets when they went on sale because I got a notification from like Spotify. And it was at Warsaw, so I was like, this is going to sell out immediately. So I bought tickets without even looking. So I didn't know that that's what it was when I went. I thought it was just a regular show. And brother, I bring this up to tell you that I cried the whole time. I cried, no joke, front to back the whole show in a way that was like humiliating and also cathartic.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people there were doing that, but like all the songs that they do in this like other version, they're like either about like
divorce,
like heartbreak, or just like a lot of them are about someone you love being an addict and dying or grieving them while they're still alive.
Totally.
Your friend dying, you like becoming the person you're always meant to be.
Yeah.
Like there, and then there was like one that's about like how much the lead singer loves his kid who had to have surgery. And like I was a kid who had to have surgery and my dad is dead. Like I was just like openly weeping. And then I saw two guys realize they were gay for each other.
You did
yes,
not.
I did.
No, you did
yes,
not.
I did, Kevin. So here's what happened, okay? There's these two guys standing next to Eli and I, boyfriend of the pod. And they were like, they were there with their friends who were a couple, and then they made friends with another couple. Sorry, we're looking at dogs with no legs.
They have 2 legs in the back.
This one has like no legs, dude. He's got 4 fake legs and 2 real legs.
Anyway, go on. I'm not trying to interrupt your story.
No, this is a really good story.
Yeah. Go on.
So these guys were like doing the thing where they were joke kissing. You know, like our friends, like straight guys will do, where it's like they were like kissing each other on the head, doing like a little headlock and a kiss. And they were also like fake moshing because it wasn't the vibe, but they were like having fun, you know, whatever.
They didn't know it.
No, but they weren't flirting. They were broing down.
Yeah.
They were like they were calling each other bro. And then the band would play a song about your friend dying and they'd be like, I fucking love you, bro. And they were like punching each other and kissing, joke kissing. And then they played the song You in January, which is like their only like romantic love song. And the lead singer even was like, this is our only true love song. If you're here with someone you love, this is the thing. This is the moment, you know, like whatever. And then as a joke, he was like, I'm going to sing it to that guy because he's the longest relationship I've ever had, some other guy in the band. And so these 2 guys who were next to me started jokey slow dancing to the song and whatever. And I was like, kind of watching them because they were right in front of me, but kind of like whatever, being in love with my boyfriend. And then towards the end of the song, they did like a joke kiss on the lips. Mm-hmm. Quick joke kiss on the lips. Hee hee ha ha. Imagine if we kissed. And then there was a moment and they locked eyes. Dude. And then they started making out.
No fucking way.
Yes way.
No. Why did it take you?
Way.
Why did it take you so long to tell me this?
Because I wanted to tell you with a microphone in front of me.
How do you not? That's crazy.
I know.
And beautiful.
And I was screaming.
They started making out, and then what? Were they like just kidding?
No, then they were like locked in on each other the rest of the show, but there's only 2 songs left.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really like watch them for long.
Whoa. Were they hammered?
They were light beer drunk.
Yeah, they were drunk. That's great.
Yeah.
What do you think the conversation was the next day?
I don't know. And it's killing me.
What do
I
you
don't
think?
know.
Sup, dude? Sup, dude?
Well, it's like it's Brooklyn. Maybe they were like, interesting.
They could just be bi boys.
I know, but they were so broy, and I know that anyone can be gay.
Bi boys will flip that.
You don't have to tell me
very quickly.
Do you know how many fucking bi guys I've had sex with?
I'm thinking none, Lizzy.
No, try a million.
Try like a billion.
Unless you're like my boyfriend or his parents listening to this, and then like 2. A respectful number.
A respectful number.
But I think they were straight because I talked about this on Ashley Gavin's podcast. We're having gay sex because I wanted to bring it to a panel of experts, and I don't think bi guys would joke kiss. People who are in the realm of each other romantically don't joke kiss. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Straight guys and girls who are friends don't joke kiss.
Also, straight guys don't come to that in public. I think there's too much of a
But I'm
wall
saying I
up.
think they thought they were straight until then.
No, I know. But that's a big game. I don't know. Maybe.
It's got to happen sometime.
It's got to happen sometime. And it will happen sometime if you keep listening to that music.
And
which is what this podcast is
that's
really about.
What I was getting to.
Save the youth of America. Stop listening
Stop
to pop
listening
punk.
to the Wonder Years and pop punk in
Specifically
general.
the Wonder Years. It'll turn you at least by.
At least by, and also you'll start caring about genocide and trans kids.
and you're gonna get snake bite.
and you're gonna get and you're
piercings.
gonna get snake bites and bangs. But isn't that fun?
Did the boys have bangs?
No,
Damn, that would have been sick.
they were like broy.
Yeah, okay. Did they were big beardy guys?
No, they were like you.
I'm a big beardy guy.
You're like a regular guy with a beard.
I'm 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
I'm a total bear. I can lift 300.
right. They were otters.
Am I an otter? Fuck.
Yeah. I don't know if you're hairy enough to be an otter, but if you're anything, you're an otter. Or a twink.
I'm not a twink.
You might
I'm
be
not a twink.
Kevin, you might be a twunk.
Andrea off mic just goes twink, twink otter.
I think you're a twunk.
What's a twunk?
Former twink.
What do you mean? Like
You've already
used to be a
experienced twink death.
and then twink death is. So
Do you know
funny.
what twink death is?
Twink death is.
Twink
so
death is
funny.
what's coming for Chalamet, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
And then you become a twunk or a
Uh-huh.
bear. But you're
Yeah.
not a bear because you're not fat.
I
And
thought
you're not very
otters-
hairy.
I thought otters were little bears.
But they're hairy.
Yeah. So wouldn't you go twink, twunk, otter?
If you're hairy, but not everyone is hairy.
Yeah, but you can't be a bear if you're not hairy.
Right.
You said twink, twunk, bear.
Well,
You skipped over otter.
I guess I don't know what a fat, non-hairy gay guy is.
Oh, that's a good question. A seal?
Seal?
Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
That's why you tune into the damn pod.
There used to be a blessing.
Seal the singer.
The dude that I kissed on this day. Something, something. You get the rest.
Baby.
Hey, Lizzie,
Yeah, Kev.
you want to tell us a story?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Okay, this is an article from The Guardian. I feel like we should bibliography.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of that moving forward.
Hey, full disclaimer.
New format.
You're going to be hearing a lot of that going forward. And just, that's what it is. Don't subscribe to The Guardian if you don't want spoilers.
Yeah, as we mentioned on the last episode, new format. We're doing our research in real time because I think we figured out that's the one thing holding us back
We're
from
just not going to do the homework, and it is what it is.
complete world domination.
But for like special ones, we will.
Imagine spending 5 hours researching a story and then another 2 hours recording it and then editing
But also,
it. It's just too much.
alternatively-
It's too much to do on a weekly basis.
And alternate. Fucking Jesus Christ! I clicked on a pop-up ad, and I fucking goddamn it.
I'm apologizing for none of this. You guys are gonna love
And
it.
also,
What's up?
alternatively, imagine spending 5 hours researching a story, and then the guy fucking dies.
Oh yeah, that happened to
That
both
happens
of us
all the time.
That happened.
Or the guy doesn't die, but something so horrifically sad happens that it's like unusable. Like the
Yes.
guy's kid dies.
Yeah. Do you remember that one episode we came
I
up
almost
with?
bailed on the one where the guy ate his own dog, but I was in too deep, dude.
No, that's a good one though. That's a
Yeah.
good one. You could have just ate the front legs. Then
He
he'd be
should have
fine.
ate the front legs. Frog legs. Look at that guy.
We talked about this before, but there's that one episode where it was like these two guys were like boating or something, and the one telling the story didn't tell the other one that the friend dies.
Yeah.
And we're just roasting the friend the whole time.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then he drowned.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck?
I was
can't
calling
just-
this guy fucking stupid the whole time.
So now we have a code for if anything like that happens.
jokes.
We're good. We're good on this one.
By the way, before I start, just really, really quickly,
Yeah.
if anyone out there is a vet tech, can you write in and tell me why all dogs with no front legs are Chihuahuas? Thank you. They're all Chihuahuas.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's up with that? They're
Maybe-
big heads. They can't,
Maybe somebody's doing what we talked about.
they can't hold the weight of their massive heads. Their
Yeah.
tiny little bodies.
You're right.
Tell me your story.
Matthew Reum,
Matthew Reum?
R-E-U-M.
Rum.
Rem?
Rum.
Rem.
Ram.
Rem.
Not Ram.
Like the way people from the way people from the New England say room, they say rum. Come
Yeah.
here, rum.
Yeah.
Matthew Reum was driving home late and dark, foggy night in Indiana when his headlights landed on what looked like a deer. As he swerved, his truck barrel rolled down a ravine into the creek beneath
What?
Interstate 94.
He swerved and not hit a deer and he went down a ravine?
Yeah.
Barrel roll.
Barrel rolled, and I've done this.
Wild.
I've barrel rolled into a ravine. Thank you. If you listen to the 100th episode, I don't think I told that story actually.
I gotta say, because they say this, it's more dangerous to swerve.
You're supposed to hit the deer.
You're supposed to speed up.
Oh my God! Like when you hit the possum.
That's what I was getting to.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
You're good. But I
Sorry,
was
I
like,
had to freak out.
I was building. Yes, remember when I hit that fucking
And you and we all had to be like, Kevin, you did the right thing, because I do think there is an alternate universe in which you kill all of us in that car.
I've mentioned this before, but it was you, me,
Joyelle Nicole Johnson, and then her boyfriend Danny.
Yeah, and it was just the four of us?
Yeah.
And we were in Springfield, and it was like late
And
night.
we were at a funeral, so like if the four of us died, it would have been so tragic.
We don't gotta stick to the story though. The main, yes, of course, it would be tragic if we
coloring.
died. No, I know, but you're like us dying at it's gonna be tragic anyway, right, loyal listeners? But here, we were driving down this road, and it was like dark and like not any lights, and we're driving
Country road.
Country road, and I am a good. How far is our car? Like we spot the thing. It felt like a solid 5 seconds before we hit it.
Here's what happened.
And silence took over the car.
No, but before we were all singing. There was a song.
Yes.
I don't remember what song, but we were all singing. We were like, we literally
I
like
can
we
get
were.
you to a kiss from
You know-
a road. Yeah, we were singing.
You know that thing where you go to a funeral, but like it's also like all your friends are there and your adrenaline's high, so you're like having this cathartic like party kind of moment. That's what we were doing. And then I swear to God, Kevin, when the fucking possum came in the headlights, I looked in its eyes.
Same.
We all looked
the song
in its
ended,
eyes. It looked right at us.
Yes.
Made eye contact with us, and then the song ended after you hit it.
No. I remember there a beat of silence and hearing thud. But I remember driving going, oh fuck, should I turn? Should I hear
But if
you're
you turned,
supposed
you would
to-
have hit a fucking tree.
No, but let me tell you how slow my response time was. I see the thing, I lock eyes with it, and I think, oh man, should I swerve? I've heard you're supposed to speed up actually, so you make sure you kill it. Oh wait, is that deer? Does that apply to other animals? Damn, I don't know what I. Boom. And then the whole car burst out laughing because we all felt a solid.
But there was like 6 seconds of silence before we started laughing.
Yeah, it was like, oh.
There was like a real
Yeah, dude.
shock and horror moment.
Yeah.
Before we started laughing. Dum. Then laughter. But I would argue that your reaction time wasn't slow.
It felt like an eternity.
But you did the right thing. You did react.
But we all thought about it.
And we all
were like, are we going to hit that?
Once the silence was broken by the three of us being like, Kevin, you did the right thing. It was him or us, and it had to be him. And then we got back to the house we were all staying at, and the people in the car behind us came in, and they were like, do you guys see that dead fucking possum?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
And we were like, no! So anyway, this guy didn't do that.
Yeah, he swerved.
He swerved and barrel rolled into a ravine, which I did once in a Jeep Wrangler, and it was scary. It was December 20th, 2023, and Reum, a boiler man, was 27.
A boiler man?
Yeah. He was flung between his seat and the ceiling.
I'm sorry, we're just going to pretend we know what boiler man is?
You want to look it up? You got the laptop?
I feel like he
I feel like he fixes boilers.
I hope it's better than that. I picture he just goes to the boiler room, does a bunch of Molly.
Andrea famously banned from the boiler room.
Andrea, you got
New York City
banned
gay
from
bar, the boiler room. Andrea's banned from. She doesn't have a microphone.
Do you need to come over and tell us why you got? Is it a good story?
Can I interrupt your flow?
Is it quick?
I mean, sure. I'll tell you in 3 lines.
Yeah, tell me in a couple lines. And also, I looked it up. Yes, a boiler man fixes and
repairs boilers.
Sometimes you're an alcoholic and you're with a bunch of gay guys, and an old gay guy comes over and he hits on your friend, and you go, I don't care for your energy. You're being kind of a sex pest. And he continues, and then you decide to break the tension. You will pour your alcohol all over the pool table to create some sort of diversion. And then you try to fuck the very much gay bartender at the boiler room, and they say, you have to leave. You've damaged property and sexually harassed our staff. And I say, thank you, good night.
And that's it. And now she can't go to the boiler room.
And I feel like
These were the guys.
I feel like
I love these guys.
I feel like that's you could just change the location of that and repeat the story. And
Oh my God, I follow these guys.
the old gay guys. Yeah. We love them.
We love them. We love old gay guys. We love boiler men. Separately.
Give it up for Andrea, everybody, stepping up.
Shout
for
out,
ones and
Andrea.
twos. Shout out, Andrea. All right,
Listen
go
to
on.
our podcast respectfully if you don't already. Okay. He was 27, my age.
God damn it. Uh-huh.
He was flung between his seat and the ceiling, losing consciousness as the airbags activated and the windows shattered around him. He remembers coming to and finding he was wet, which is also what happened to me when my car rolled.
Yeah.
And I thought I was bleeding profusely, and it turns out I had rolled into mud. So maybe that's what happened to him.
A car rolling will just get you wet.
I mean, covered in mud. Realizing he was wet, it was dark and, quote, not miserably cold, but it's winter. He says, so probably 30 degrees Fahrenheit. He knew he didn't have any food or water in the car, but wasn't too concerned because someone must have seen him swerve, he thought. Unable to free himself from the truck, he honked the horn.
I have a question. Did they say how deep the ravine was? It sounds like he pretty quickly assessed, well, I'm not getting back up there.
It doesn't
Doesn't say?
Well, he was stuck in the car.
Oh, he couldn't get out of the car.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn. Okay, so he's pinned.
He's pinned.
He's pinned.
And
or
also the
doors
car
are
is like
stuck.
The truck is like absolutely toast.
It's toast. And
It's
the
like-
doors they're jammed.
It's like when you step on a can.
Yeah, okay, got it.
So unable to free himself from the truck, he started honking the horn. Smart. But it was silent. The horn wasn't working.
Okay.
Not it was silent like the world around him. The horn was silent. As was the vehicle's onboard emergency call system. So he started searching for his phone, and he called out to Siri, smart, both to no avail. Now, when I flipped my car into the ravine, I also couldn't find my phone. But after I was freed from the car...
Now, when I flipped my car in a ravine, I also couldn't find my phone.
But when I was freed from the car...
You just aged 30 years. When I flipped my
I've
car...
always been 49. But when I got out, eventually a tow truck came and pulled my car out of the ravine, and my phone was under the car.
Oh, how'd it get under there?
It probably fell out when the car rolled
Yes,
somehow.
of course. Yes, of course.
And it was perfectly intact.
Well, those things are made. Well, iPhone?
iPhone
I mean,
under
come
a
on.
car.
They make a quality
It must
product.
have been in an air pocket.
They make a quality product, of course.
No, it must have been in an air pocket.
Can I say, by the way, I'm looking up pictures of Matt and his vehicle. Can we just? You were so right. It's a
crumpled,
crushed.
dude.
It is a can. Oh, hold on.
Oh, spoilers.
Hold on.
Spoilers.
Boom! Look at this thing.
Crumpled.
Look at this car. Dude.
Crumple Stiltskin.
No way.
That's so scary. This is the kind of thing that if it came on the local news, my mom would go,
Yep.
she does that.
Your mom would probably go, when I flip my car.
Now, when I flipped my
couldn't
car.
find my phone.
So he called out to Siri, which is smart, but it didn't work.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't work though.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
He then began yelling for help. Quote, in my mind, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do in a situation like that. A fan of TV survival shows and
we
maybe
gotta
this
get him on
podcast.
we got to get him on the pod.
And maybe this podcast. A fan of TV survival shows such as Man vs. Wild, The Naked and Afraid. He thought, quote, there's a lot of small things I've picked up, and my mind's just scrolling through them, trying to find what I need to do to survive.
Dude.
I probably do that for the better part of an hour.
Dude, this is
so
us.
you know he's like, T-minus 2 days till I drink my own pee-pees.
Yes, dude. Literally us.
Because everybody in the world, when you think Man vs. Wild, you think drinking your own piss is the first thing you think.
Yeah. Do you feel like this podcast has made you more ready
Yes.
for a situation like
Yes.
this?
Absolutely.
We're pretty much experts.
Absolutely. I know a helicopter is going to come. I actually know that you don't even really have to do anything. You
You
just
actually
have to wait
just
for
chill.
the second helicopter.
Just chill.
Just chill.
Fight every urge to wander.
Fight every urge to wander, throw up some sort of smoke signal,
Mm-hmm.
and kick it.
And just chill. Actually, enjoy it.
Unless
if you
you're
can.
in running water and then you're toast.
Yeah.
No one came that night. What is this, my marriage?
I was gonna say. Who wrote this? My ex-wife.
At first, no one even knew Reum was missing. Since graduating from high school in 2014, he had worked at power plants, refineries, and steel mills, often taking jobs out of state and staying away for months at a time.
Oh no! So nobody's really got a.
Yeah.
No one's expecting him.
Right. Quote, most holidays I would either spend working because you get great money, or I would be out traveling and enjoying life, he says. The year before, he had gone camping by himself for Christmas. Quote, I've always liked being outdoors, just that sense of peace and calm.
Sure.
So, survival man.
Well, he's got some free time now.
Yeah, he better get to peace and calm quick.
Get to peace and calm quick.
He was off work for the holidays when he crashed. So his colleagues didn't notice his absence, and his friends and family knew he had planned to attend a funeral in Missouri. Whoa, we were just talking about one of those.
Whoa.
This guy might be us.
He's literally us. Also, why does this stuff always happen when you're on vacation or something?
I know, it's always, all these stories are like, and nobody expected him home for 3 months.
Yeah.
I guess because the other stories are like short.
Oh, yeah,
I guess
fair.
because if someone expected him home at 6, by 7 he'd be rescued.
All right, that's fair.
He had planned to attend a funeral in Missouri before heading to Colorado for a ski trip. Quote, no one knew where I was. End quote. So I could have just said no one knew where he was.
Okay, cool.
He says in his book about the ordeal, which is called Still Standing, you're welcome to read that if you want to.
I did not.
I clearly didn't. It's 139 pages, and I found the story this morning. Mm-hmm. Quote, okay, no one would really come looking, he said. And then he realized that he wasn't really able to feel part of his left leg anymore. He said, quote, I'm thinking this is just a horrible dream. As it dawned on him that help might not arrive imminently or at all, he also became more aware of his injuries. He said, my face is cut up and I've got window glass all over me. My right hand is already starting to swell. I don't know if that's sprained or broken. I just know it's hurting. But I'm also trying not to let it get the best of me. Which we love.
High spirits.
High spirits.
He hasn't hit his wall yet.
He has not hit his wall. He is fully, he's hit the ceiling. He is pinned.
He hit
But
the
he's
ceiling.
like-
You mean on the tumble down?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, he's between the seat and the ceiling.
Yes.
He's on the ceiling.
He's under. The car's upside down. He's but in the seat.
Top of the seat, head part,
Crazy.
ceiling,
Yeah.
pinned.
Yes.
But also it's crumpled.
Because it's been
so
crumpled.
there's like less space.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But I wonder if he's gonna hit a wall. Because when the wall hits in these stories, sometimes that's when it gets
That's
real.
when it gets gnarly. That's when, yeah.
Do you remember the 6 Day Lost guy? Remember that? Guys, that's a great app.
That's why he wrote 6 Day.
Listen to that after this. That's one of my favorite apps.
That one haunts me.
Is that the same couple that was fighting in the Amazon?
Yeah.
That's the same one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So good.
If you haven't listened to that one, listen to it to find out if they end up together because the answer is hilarious.
Well, don't give it away.
It doesn't matter.
Nah,
They've
no one's
heard
going
it.
to listen. People listen in order, I found, a lot of times. People tell me all the time.
That's
They'll
what I'm
start
saying. They
from
heard
the
it. They've
They'll
heard-
start from the beginning.
Well, I also think they want to be in on like our little jokes. Like they want to know
Yeah.
what we mean when we say long story short.
Or how many 8-year-olds is
Or
or
shrimp
8th graders?
dog.
Is it 8-year-olds?
8-year-olds, 8th graders are varying heights.
Yes.
Because of puberty.
8th graders are varying heights. All 8-year-olds are the same.
All 8-year-olds are 4 feet tall.
I don't know why I got that. Okay, whatever.
It's fine.
2 helicopters.
2 helicopters,
Yeah.
8-year-olds, respect the sea. Long story short. And now shrimp dog.
Should we take
and
a
welcome shrimp dog.
Would you ever fly in a helicopter?
For the show, but like not of my own volition. I have actually
Oh, you have?
in Hawaii.
It seems really scary.
It was kind of scary, but it was beautiful.
I was gonna ask if you wanted to do that because how much is one of those?
Yeah, we should,
trips?
but we
like,
should go somewhere cool.
Like
and
no, I
do
mean
it
like
there.
how they're like, we'll fly around Manhattan. Like how much?
I don't
is
want to
that?
fly around Manhattan. I don't trust the airspace right now.
Okay, I
I'm
totally
right.
get it. But
A
where else
helicopter
are we
just
gonna?
crashed on the side of Manhattan.
Yeah, but where else are we gonna do it?
We have to go somewhere
Yeah.
and then do it.
Like the keys.
Yeah, the keys would be perfect.
The second it lands.
But I mean, it's all water.
The second it lands, okay, right to the bar.
Yeah.
We earned it.
Yeah,
we earned a couple.
When we relapse, we'll go in a helicopter.
We earned a couple hurricanes.
Or we could do parasailing.
Oh.
They have that there.
Well, I was thinking we need to put ourselves in life-threatening situations more for the pod.
I know, but but if you want us to do that, just like send us money. Like these things cost money. You can't just go in a helicopter because you have a podcast. Although maybe you can.
We were talking about running for mayor. We were texting each other about running for mayor the other day.
We'll do this on the next one.
Okay.
On the next step.
We'll talk about our platform.
We have ideas.
Okay.
Okay, more about the crash. The truck had landed engine first, the engine hood crumpling inwards, obstructing his view out of the windshield.
Can I say I'm so glad we're doing more video now because watching you interpret
I'm
dance.
doing a little dance.
The crumpled hood.
His legs were trapped in the inside of the. This is sad.
This next part's sad.
His legs were trapped with the steering column and dashboard pushed towards his lap. It's sad. Quote, there's stuff digging into my shin. I can't tell what, but I can wiggle my toes on my right foot, he says. I notice I'm not really able to feel part of my left leg anymore. I'm thinking this is just a horrible dream. My brain is still in disbelief. Despite his predicament, Reum focused on keeping clean and hydrated.
Yes.
Clean is new.
Yeah, so
Not a lot of people are doing clean.
are we thinking wounds clean?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
And how does one keep wounds clean
Lick
in
them.
this situation?
My first thought was lick them, but that can't be it.
I don't know, maybe.
But from the phrase, licking
Lick your
wounds.
wound.
And that's what
Maybe.
an animal would do.
I think so.
Also, have you ever forgot? Okay. Have you ever forgot you were a human for a second and your hands were full and your left hand itched, so you itched it with your teeth?
Yeah.
Great. I just wanted to know if that was just me.
Lizzy, all the time.
Okay, good.
Because sometimes
my hands aren't full and I do it.
Sometimes it's like the I don't want to say sharp, but it's like you need something with a good little
A little
scrape.
gnaw.
A little gnaw.
You need a little.
If I may.
Yeah. Great. Just checking. Just seeing if that was just me. Okay. Focused on keeping clean and hydrated. Quote, I figured if I stayed on top of those things, I'd be able to survive until someone found me. On the second day, it rained. He said, my truck had a sunroof, which had shattered during the wreck, but there was a sunscreen, you know, the thing under the sunroof that you can open?
Yeah.
There was a sunscreen that I realized I could fold to direct the rain.
Yes, dude. We got a funnel.
So Man versus Wild.
So sick.
So close calls. At first, he drank the rainwater by cupping it in his hands. And he said...
Oh, he can move both his hands?
Yeah.
So
He's
it's like
stuck.
his back and his hip. He said like his waist, his hip area is pinned. I didn't realize he had full mobility.
Well, I don't know if it's full.
Of his hands, I mean. That's great. That's huge.
I'm sure he can't, fling them around.
Sure, but if he needs to
But
make
he can use
noise,
'em. Yeah.
maybe make a fire.
Yeah, he's not,
inside the car.
fully...
Don't do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was picturing at first.
But when he drank the water with his hands, he said that was the worst water I've ever tasted. It was everything that had been washed off the highway.
Oh, he's kind of being a diva.
Diesel, rubber from car
Ooh.
tires, dirt, mud, and animal matter.
Yeah, I take that back. Actually, that's valid.
He said it tasted like death.
God, dude.
He changed tactics, using a spare pair of sweatpants as an improvised filter, and then he used it to give himself a sponge bath.
Okay, let's talk.
Yeah.
One. Okay, here's where my mind is. Sweatpants as a filter, which means you're gonna stop some debris.
Yeah.
But if we're talking animal matter, aka roadkill, bile, whatever, it's
Yeah.
gonna make you sick. You're gonna puke,
Yeah,
right?
but so will not drinking any water.
No, but you're still gonna get all the parasites or whatever. So I'm worried about him in that regard.
Yeah, but you don't have to chew them.
No, I know, but
I'm just saying it's a
the
little
germs
better.
are still there.
The germs are
So I'm
still there.
worried about him in that regard. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how good his immune system is,
Yeah.
I guess, real soon. But also, gave himself a sponge bath.
Yeah.
Let's talk about his obsession with cleanliness.
He really wants the boy wants to be clean.
What is that?
I
do you-
get it.
Tell me.
I get it, dude.
Break it down for me.
My
That doesn't
first instinct, post trauma is always to shower.
Okay, that doesn't seem like a priority right now to me. Him having a sponge bath.
Well, maybe he was doing it to like his. Well, also he
Sell
said
me
his
on it.
hands and his face were all cut up.
Uh-huh.
So maybe he like was covered in dried blood and shit, and he like wanted to get it off.
Okay. Maybe he's a little OCD.
Maybe
Maybe. I don't know.
it's not impossible.
We have no theories around this. We have no thoughts. Okay.
Actually,
yeah.
I know something you don't know.
Oh, you know something I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Sponge bath.
Spain beef.
So in the back seat there was a toolkit, so he was able to yank that down. And then he started pulling. He was using the tools to pull and yank at all the bits of the dashboard that had broken off, tearing them away and throwing them outside the truck. He said if it had a nut or a bolt on it, I was trying to take it apart. Not just to get out of there, but to give myself a little bit more room. It was also giving me a sense of accomplishment, helping my mental and emotional state just to have these little victories.
Yeah, nice.
So he's just kind of like tearing at shit.
yeah.
Trying to find a way out, which I think is smart.
If you're gonna be stuck somewhere for a long time, that is a thing.
Yeah.
Like we've seen people in the desert or whatever having a journal and writing what they're gonna eat when they get saved. Something to keep you from going crazy.
You got to have a little task you can complete. Write that down in case you ever get lost.
Living in a capitalist society.
Yeah, you got to give yourself a job.
It's actually capitalism.
It
and I
is
hate
capitalism.
Actually, now I hate that he did
Actually,
it.
how about let yourself relax for once?
Yeah. How about you have? Yeah. How about a little work-life balance, a little me time when you're pinned down.
Okay, well, for every triumph, there were failures that left him feeling defeated. He could hear hundreds of cars driving across the bridge above him, but he had no way to alert them. He considered amputating his own legs
What?
to escape the truck.
How?
Quote, a lot of my lowest points coincided with when I didn't have any water, which can wreak havoc on your brain. It felt like I made more progress and was more hopeful when it rained.
Yeah.
He's got a toolkit. He could probably...
Amputating your legs is crazy.
I mean, that one guy did his arm with a fucking pocket knife.
Oh, I know.
And then never let us hear the end of it.
God, and then
That guy sucks.
Yeah, we did an episode on.
I know.
him.
I don't like him. He's a woman beater.
Yes.
And
It's real.
you can't beat a woman, period, but you really can't with a bionic arm.
Yeah. Lizzy.
As the days pass, he said there was definitely a lot of panic, but I've not had the best circumstances growing up. A lot of the time, the panic and emotion have to be put on the back burner while I figure out what to do. In his book, he writes about how he was diagnosed with reactive attachment disorder,
What?
RAD, as a teenager, a condition common among those who spent their childhoods in Eastern Bloc orphanages, which Reum did before he was adopted from Kaliningrad, Russia, when he was 3. That's what I knew that you didn't know.
I'm gonna need you to run that back one more time.
Yep. So when he was in his book, he writes about how he was diagnosed with reactive attachment disorder. Why don't we pull that up?
Rad.
As a teenager, and I bet it's not.
Ironically, it's actually not.
It sounds awful. A condition common among those who spent their childhoods in Eastern Bloc orphanages, which he did.
A rare but serious condition where a child has difficulty forming healthy emotional bonds with their primary caregivers. What does this have to do with him? This is why he needed to be clean, because he was maybe neglected.
Maybe, but also he's saying that's why he's able to put panic on the back burner. He's comfortable with panic.
Oh.
This isn't like his first time feeling like real fear in this way. And maybe for someone else, the panic would get in the way of like getting it done, you know?
Look at that. I love an infograph. Infographs are my main source of that and TikTok of knowledge. Being disobedient.
These
being
are the
unhappy,
symptoms.
having arguments with others that's unusual for someone that age.
Okay. Not the best infograph.
I really like how specific that one is. Inability to smile, crying inconsolably, not interested in playing interactive games with the parents. Oh, you realize this is for children, not as an adult.
Yeah.
Having tantrums, irritated, no eye contact. Well, this sucks.
I mean, it sounds like a lot of like attachment disorders.
It sounds like a lot of PTSD around neglect.
And like, yeah.
Fun.
Sorry. But he was adopted from Russia when he was 3.
Yeah, this is.
And this is the other thing I knew that you didn't know.
Yeah.
Reum was also diagnosed with ADHD,
Oh.
brother in arms,
Ooh,
as a child and seemed to be, quote, perpetually grounded. When he was 13, he was sent to a strict Christian boarding school in Missouri, a place he describes as both a prison and a sanctuary. Quote, it was there I discovered my resilience, capacity for growth, and underlying spirit of survival.
Wow.
While most of his peers only stayed at the school for a year, Reum remained for 4 and had little contact with his parents. So he says being trapped in the wreckage of the truck isn't the first hard thing I've been through.
Aww.
I know. And let me say this about people with ADHD. Sometimes they're traumatized, but also, do you remember, I don't know if you saw this, there was a meme of a tweet where someone tweeted, finding a Halloween costume is so hard when you have ADHD. And then some quote unquote tweeted it and said, can you people do anything? And I think about it all the time. Like every time I'm like, I can't clean my room, I hear the words, can you people do anything? But I will say that survival situation is kind of what we're most like
We're
built
great.
for,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like that kind of like hard focus and ability to like put your emotions away and zero in. I can relate to that.
Yeah, and creative work.
But I can't find a Halloween costume.
Yeah. Because you can't pick one?
I can't plan it.
I know, it's always like the day before, the day
And I
of,
can
and I'm
never
like,
remember any idea I've had.
okay, actually, this has, I thought I had a problem with this my whole life until right now. I think you just unlocked something.
Yeah.
I, throughout the year, will come up with the best Halloween costumes.
And I don't write them down.
And the second October hits, my brain goes blank.
Yeah, the only thing I can remember is Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah. I have a couple that I did write down, and I'm like, yeah, I do want to do that. But then they're like too elaborate, and I'm like, it's too much work. Because then it's the planning thing.
Yeah. And also the ones I
it's
write down are not the good ones. I have a note in my phone that just says "sexy Freddy Krueger," and that's nothing.
Hold on. Let's see if you have any other. I wonder if I did. Because sometimes past self surprises future self.
Okay.
You know? Let's just look at one of our several notes apps. And if I type in Halloween costume
Yeah, this
ideas.
just says "sexy Freddy Krueger." I knew it.
These suck. These suck, actually.
Monica Lewinsky.
they're all puns. Can I read these to you?
I've done puns in the past. Yeah, read them. No.
Cialis Cooper.
Okay, I don't hate that, but how do you even Alex Cooper with a boner?
I guess. Otis Shredding.
Okay.
You like that one? All right.
Okay, yeah.
Whiskey Dick Cheney.
Love. Actually love Whiskey Dick Cheney.
And George W. Bushwick.
No, George W. Bushwick, cut that. You have to keep that. George W. Bushwick is so good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I forgot it. All right. Maybe this is the year.
You be George W. Bushwick. I'm going to be George W. Full Bush.
Nice. Come on.
Which is also Bushwick. I just walk around with full bush and no pants on. And everyone's like, "Are you Hannah from Girls?" The other day I tweeted feeling like Hannah from Girls and then in parentheses wrote fat and in Greenpoint. And nobody liked it, so I deleted it.
That's so funny, dude.
I know, but nobody uses Twitter anymore. I should have put it on TikTok.
That's funny.
I was in Greenpoint.
You gotta. Next time you're walking around Greenpoint, you gotta.
Fat in Greenpoint. Okay. On Christmas Day, 5 days
Whoa, dude.
into him being trapped in the truck. 5 days.
This is insane. Nobody noticed an accident? I guess there weren't like guardrails.
No, he
or
was
anything.
in the ravine, so nobody's seeing him. And it's like a highway, so they're going by fast. Nobody's like hanging out around there.
Yeah.
You know? And he can't make any noise. His horn is broken. His phone is broken.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day, 5 days into his ordeal, Reum began to hallucinate. He thought the truck was surrounded by small critters
Whoa.
that he might catch and eat for sustenance, like our possum friend. He said, I decided to do something really different for the holidays. He wrote in his journal.
For the holidays.
I guess he had a journal. I'm camping in my truck, ... indefinitely. Initially, he says he used the journal as a way to keep track of his mental health.
Great.
He's really in touch
Yeah.
with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And as a way to... And as time went on, he wrote goodbye to his friends and family, along with his own obituary. Not a lot of people get to do that.
Yeah.
Write your own?
Yeah.
Would you want to?
I feel like that's a lot of pressure.
I would like for someone else to do it, but I'd like them to run it by me.
But I want to, but definitely run it by me.
Definitely run it by me.
We could punch this up a little.
Definitely, I'd like to see words like potential, born for greatness.
Maybe something about...
Too soon.
Something about, too soon for sure.
Too soon for sure.
And I don't care how old I am.
I could be 90.
Throw too soon in there.
I was about to do something huge.
You're definitely going to want to throw in something about being like a light or a spark.
Or lighting up a room.
I was just going to say, if you could mention me entering a room in some positive capacity, I'd really appreciate it.
But make it less hack than lighting it up.
Yeah, like do something fun. And,
really, really dress that
and,
up.
how many words are we allowed in this thing? Can we take out a whole page in the paper?
Yeah.
Can we start? Okay. Do you want to? Actually, I can just send you my bio.
Yeah, well, start with my bio.
Yeah, definitely mention that thing I did on Audible 8 years ago.
Don't say anything like her comedy is as dark and dirty as it is funny. Don't put that in there.
Don't put that in there.
They make us put that in there. Don't put that in there.
And scene.
I
really like somebody having a lot of notes for their obituary.
Hey, if you want to write us an obituary and send it in. Actually, I don't like that juju. Don't do that. 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 Don't do that.
Having it locked.
Don't do that.
Hey, you know what though?
What?
That is for sure a type of like an A type.
Yeah. And I bet
personality.
Swedish people do that.
I guarantee people. There's a personality type that has one locked and loaded.
But also, I bet Swedish people do it because they clean out their houses when they're not even sick. When they get to like 70, they start. It's called Swedish death cleaning.
Oh, they start getting rid of stuff?
Yeah, so
That's
that their
rad.
kids don't have to do it when they're dead.
Well, and let's be real. Do you want to have a bunch of shit anyway? Like,
Right.
as you go to, like, I think it would be kind of rewarding to go, hey, I know you've always liked this thing.
Yeah.
You know?
But also, counter argument, I, for the first time in my life, like, have a bunch of shit I love. Like, I've always kind of had, like, an undercover cops apartment. And now I have, like, a home that's full of shit I like.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
But if you were old.
And I want to die with it.
But if you were, okay.
Not soon.
Let's say if you were old and you knew, I probably got less than 10 years left, wouldn't you want me
No, it's mine.
You don't even know what I'm going to say.
That's my point. Wouldn't I want you to what?
Have that little taxidermy gator?
Yeah, I'd leave it to you in my will.
Yeah, but then I got to go get it. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, sorry, you have to go get it.
Yeah, I don't want it. It's a lot of work.
I should have put that in the room with air conditioning, I'm realizing now. There's a heat wave in New York. I'm scared it's going to melt.
You're worried your taxidermy baby alligator is going to melt.
What if it rots?
Lizzy, we'll talk later.
Okay. I have a friend who had a taxidermied alligator, and he said one time eventually it started to smell because it was too hot in his apartment.
What?
Comedian Tim Smith.
Tim Smith's a liar.
That could be
We should
true.
have Tim on sometime.
We should have Tim
He'd be
on.
great.
He'd be great. Okay. Sad. He started writing his own obituary. And when I die, don't call it like an bitch you wearing. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah, well, that's not really your decision.
Give me dignity and poise. He said, by the time he was discovered, he thought he might not be identifiable. I wanted people to know how hard I'd fought to get out of this horrible situation and how I'd hung on until the last possible moment. Then, two local fishermen.
What?
Introduced new characters. You know what that means.
Fishermen on the highway? Now I've heard of everything.
No. Two local fishermen, Mario Garcia and his son-in-law, Nevardo de la Torre, were out scouting for fishing holes. I guess there's fishing holes.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Whatever.
Yeah. I guess there's fishing holes.
I kind of don't really know where we are now.
You've never heard of I guess there's
Is a fishing hole not a hole in an ice?
That's how I've always heard
But maybe it's also like people say like going down to the fishing hole.
it. Yeah.
So maybe it's like a pond.
I don't know. A hole makes me feel like it's no bigger than wider than a
Hole.
trash can.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right in.
Right in.
Right in.
If only we had an aquatic obsessed fan.
We're looking for fishing holes when they happened upon the truck. This was 6 days after Reum swerved.
Crazy.
And he was asleep when it happened, when they showed up. A makeshift curtain was pulled over the truck window, and Reum woke to see a head sticking through.
What?
He said, I don't know if I'm still hallucinating or if it's real, and neither one of us can really believe what's going on or what we're seeing. De La Torre called 911 and flagged down emergency responders, who cut Reum out of the wreckage, airlifted him to Memorial Hospital in South Bend. Go Notre Dame.
Can I say, can you imagine walking around, or you're walking along a highway or whatever, you pull over maybe to pee or whatever, and you're like, oh, there's a crushed car down
And then
there.
you're like, should
And
we
then you
check
go,
it out?
And then you go, let's look at it. So right away, I would probably go, that's crazy. Let's keep driving. So right away,
you're being weird.
and then imagine peeking down and there's a dude in there
And he's like asleep, and then he goes,
and he's got a journal.
and horror movie, you think he's dead, and then eyes open.
Yeah, dude.
Oh!
No, thank you.
But also, Slay, he's alive.
And then you kick him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm alive.
And then you go, sorry, you scared me. You scared me.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
But he said some of the firefighters didn't see me making it. They thought I might die on the way there, says Reum.
Well, that's why they're not paramedics.
And then he said, so
They
I'm
don't-
glad I showed them wrong.
Yeah, they don't
Slay.
know.
Yeah. He remained.
Do you want to see him in the hospital?
Yeah.
Here's
Pull
another
him
pic of the thing. Look at that.
Pull him up.
Look at that. This is them
That's
lifting.
not a car.
This is them lifting the truck. This really shows the extent of the. That's crazy. He was right
In
here.
there.
Here he is now, and here's him in the
Oh my
hospital.
God, he's a Notre Dame fan. Go Irish.
Look at that. Hey.
I wonder if we'd all be friends.
I mean, he loves survival.
He loves survival. He's a Notre Dame fan. He's got tattoos.
Yeah.
If he's not a Republican,
Then we
could
are
be really
golden.
cool. He remained at the hospital for about 3 weeks. He said, they ran every test on me. I had about 18 x-rays, and they were pumping me full of medication and nutrients, trying to get me stable. He had shattered the bones in his right hand and torn tendons, which needed surgery. His right leg was bruised, and he said, in my own efforts to get out, I had worn through the skin to the bone.
Oh.
And the 2 bones were actually fractured. Gangrene had set in his left leg, and doctors were worried about the spread of the infection.
Holy
The
shit.
decision was made to amputate the leg, below the knee at first, but after it became clear the remaining tissue was not responding to treatment, a second amputation was made above the knee.
Wow, man.
Reum says he told the doctors to do what they needed to do. He said, it didn't bother me because I thought I was going to have to do it myself, which is a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
During his 6 days in the wreck, Reum had lost 23 pounds. So a big part of his hospital rehab involved eating as much as he could. Love that. My dream.
Here he is with the firefighters. I think it looks like that found him.
Some fucking mustache guys for sure. Look at those 2 guys' mustaches.
Yeah,
Some
dude.
of the best mustaches I've seen in my fucking life.
Honestly, impressive mustache.
Those guys are hot. Thank you, Andrea. He had physical therapy and occupational therapy 3 times a day, using a walker or a wheelchair. He said, I didn't have a prosthetic at that point, so it was teaching me how to do life on one leg.
That's wild.
A prosthetic was fitted in April of last year, but it's not perfect. He can't climb a ladder, and snow is challenging. He has more surgeries scheduled for this year, another revision on his hand, as well as a spinal cord surgery because something in his spine is pushing against his sciatic nerve, causing it to swell. His amputated leg will also be shortened to better align his knees, and a titanium rod put through his femur, so a new
Ooh.
prosthetic can be connected more comfortably.
Oof. So it's gonna tickle when it's a rainstorm coming. That's the minimum.
Yeah. Apparently, there's an increased mortality rate among amputees because they lose mobility. So, like, a lot of the things that come from, like a lot of the things that can kill you from being immobile can happen to them, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So Reum has determined to stay as active as possible. He rarely uses a wheelchair. He goes to the gym 5 or 6 times a week, more than us.
Yeah.
And has invested in a running prosthetic. He says that
That's great.
sunrise runs always lifted his spirits prior to the accident. He's been slower to address the impact on his mental health. He said, everybody said you need to talk to a therapist. You probably have PTSD, but I'm hard-headed and stubborn.
Oh no, he was.
I know.
We were like, right. We were right with him till that. You gotta go
He
to
said,
therapy.
I don't like doing things unless I want to do them. At the start of this year, though, he began therapy.
Yeah. All right. Good man. Also, here he is with the 2 fishermen that found him.
Aw.
Look at that. Look
Shout
how
out
happy
Bass
he
Pro
is.
Shop.
Yeah. Shut up. Hey, they don't sponsor us.
Well, I was about to say he stayed in touch with Garcia de la Torre.
Oh, really?
Whom he credits with saving his life and is keen to share his story as he continues his recovery.
Wow.
He said, we go through these horrific tragedies and our brains adapt to overcome and become stronger. His book is dedicated to his grandfather and to an uncle who lost his leg to cancer, who, quote, taught me we are not defined by our limbs.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Really specific.
Right. We're not defined by our limbs.
It's just kind of funny to not be
It's
like,
a very
who taught me to persevere. It's like very specifically taught me that you don't need 4 limbs to be cool.
It's
which I love.
Yeah, it is.
He's been unable to return to work since the accident, but he graduated in May with an Associate of Applied Science 2-year degree at an Ivy Tech community college.
Let's go.
His experience, by the way, more degrees between the two of us.
Yes. Already more accomplished.
His experience, he says, often resonates with others who have been through significant trauma. He said that feeling of being given a new lease on life is highly prevalent for a lot of people who have been through a life or death situation. I'm not immune to depression or anxiety or any of that now, but it's definitely easier for me to handle. Just knowing what I've gone through and the fact that I've made it. And that is the story
Of
Matthew Reum.
You forgot his name?
I forgot his first name.
No,
Matt, I thought your first name was Dylan, and I knew I was wrong. I'm sorry.
Also, at one point, you kept flip-flopping the last name between Rum and Room. I wasn't correcting you.
Yeah,
It's
I just
fine.
I wanted to cover all my bases. But just like so that you know the name thing is impersonal, I texted Andrea the other day and told her that I forgot the last name of the last person I dated before my boyfriend. Couldn't remember it. And then I had to go in my Venmo transactions and find it because I sent him money while we were dating.
But he loves that, though. He loves that little detail.
That I sent him money?
That you don't remember any man before him.
Oh, sure. I didn't tell him.
Oh, you should tell him.
Okay.
But, like, use that angle.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even, remember his name.
I don't even know their names.
I had to, look it up. And it's just, babe, come here.
Come here.
Babe.
Babe. And who are you again?
Hey, babe.
I'm calling him Babe because I don't know his name either.
You have a railroad spike sticking out of your head. All right, that's
okay, bye.
Bye. That's the app.